Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Haley Wilkes. Thank you for joining us tonight. In this week's Manatee School District Workshop, it was determined out-of-school suspensions were on the decline.
But midway through the school year, the number of referrals has increased. ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo is here to tell us why. Dwayne?
Well, Haley and Scott, district officials say the number of suspensions have been a major focal point this year. And although it isn't perfect, they're pleased with the numbers thus far.
School discipline has always been a hot-button topic throughout the state and here in Manatee County.
Well, we normally look at discipline data at the end of school years and compare it with previous school years. But this year we had a request to go ahead and look at the data from the first semester.
And what they found was partly positive.
What we saw was out-of-school suspensions were on the decline throughout Manatee County.
According to the school district, black students are responsible for 34% of out-of-school suspensions and office referrals. 36% were white, while 29% were reported to be Hispanic. According to the district's coordinator of Safe Schools, Skip Wilhoit, these out-of-school suspensions include everything from disrespect towards staff to fighting.
Especially if it's the same student repeating those offenses. We do have an escalating system of progressive discipline in our school district, and the more a student might repeat an offense, the harsher those consequences do generally become.
And the district says it's those minor offenses that have contributed to the increase of middle school and high school referrals.
Our attendance violations, tardies, dress code violations, and cell phone violations are the primary drivers of the increase in referral data that we're seeing. And those represent 49% of all referrals.
Wilhoit says these referrals go hand in hand with in-school suspensions.
A lot of those will result in in-school suspension, so it's a natural explanation as to why we do see a rise in the in-school suspension numbers.
The district is continually looking to examine solutions to address minor discipline issues.
It's something that I think our community should know that we are aware of, and we are working diligently right now to reduce the out-of-school suspension for our students. But it's going to take a shift in culture, and we're up for the task.
Now, one of the district's goals is to examine the best practices across the state and nation that seek to limit the use of out-of-school suspension. Back to you.
Thank you, Dwayne. We're learning more about the death of a Bradenton toddler who was allegedly killed by his stepfather. 25-year-old Montez McNeil is facing aggravated child abuse and second-degree murder charges for Ethan's death. Thompson died this past November, and an autopsy later revealed he had injuries consistent with child abuse. A letter from Manatee County Sheriff Rick Wells says the family was being supervised by the Florida Department of Children and Families. Shortly after the toddler died, deputies learned that he and his 5 brothers had been given approval by a court to return home with their mother. It was later discovered the kids were already in the home 2 months before they were given approval. The sheriff's office believes that's where the stepfather was staying. Sheriff Wells says, quote, CPS made contact with the older children at school and with the siblings and maternal grandmother at her home. All denied contact with Mr. McNeil and denied he resided in the home. The statement also says the mother denied McNeil lived with them, and a walkthrough was done at the house by CPS, which showed no evidence of a man residing there.
Well, the many construction projects going up around the Suncoast right now have created a problem we haven't seen around here in more than a decade, and that's a lack of manpower.
We learned today the View project in front of the Ritz-Carlton won't be finished until June due to a labor shortage. ABC 7's Ray Collins joins us from downtown Sarasota with more on this issue tonight. Ray.
Haley and Scott, developers reportedly told the condo buyers here at the View behind me that a lack of labor will result in a several-month delay of this project being complete. This is one of many projects right now underway here on the Suncoast, and thousands of workers is still not enough. We talked to the head of a local labor pool who says it's busier now than it was before the recession. He says he's staffing 25 to 30 projects right now and hundreds of workers himself. We have his reaction now to a lack of workers, followed by the reaction of a local homeless person.
The tough part is on the streets you see a lot of these homeless people that we offer work just as, you know, cleanup jobs type stuff, and a lot of times they don't want it.
Do you think a lot of these folks would take the jobs?
Probably not. Some would, some wouldn't.
They make.
That's true. They make too much money panhandling. They don't need to work on it. They don't need to work honestly.
These labor jobs start at $8.10 an hour, and they go as high as $22 an hour for skilled trades, and the jobs are going unapplied for. We'll have more on this at 11. For now, I'm Ray Collins, live on the Bayfront. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Ray.
Everywhere you look, seems to be a building.
Popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's get a check on our Friday night weather. Josh Stone in for Bob tonight.
All right, thanks so much. Our current temperature outside is 59 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Dew point sitting at 41. To the north of us, it's actually lower. To the south, we're talking about maybe Key West, it's higher in the 70s. So tells you something's going on in the atmosphere. It's very dry just above us, and that's due to an area of, well, a front that came in the other day and helped to dry out the atmosphere. But we do have mid-level clouds they're going to hang around throughout the evening. We do have northwesterly winds, and they're breezy, and it's going to be breezy throughout tonight, anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour. In fact, down here in Boca Grande, we have sustained winds at 17 miles per hour. So quite breezy, quite chilly. We did have some isolated showers that tracked in off the Gulf of Mexico. These were very isolated, though, and not much measurable rainfall, but that changes as we get into late Saturday night and into our Sunday with a system that's going to come in here and bring us a little different picture on the radar than what we're experiencing right now. As far as our lows tonight, well, we dipped down the temperature scale into the low 50s and upper 40s. Once again, mostly cloudy skies tonight, changes for the weekend, and then we'll talk about next week coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Josh, thank you. This time of year, it can be challenging to find a parking spot in downtown Venice. The main parking lot at Centennial Park is packed most days, leaving drivers circling looking for a spot. The City of Venice hired a trolley to help move people along through downtown, but some worry the trolley may be more geared towards visitors looking for a tour rather than looking for a parking spot.
Even if the trolley's full with 25 people at a time, I'm not so sure that's going to have much beyond or any measurable impact on traffic challenges.
City is waiting for a rider survey to be done to see if more people are riding for fun than riding to avoid the traffic.
A mobile home in Ellington is a complete loss following a fire. Crews had to use water from their fire engines and a tanker because there were no hydrants close by. The North River Fire District handles a lot of fire calls every year in some pretty remote locations in eastern Manatee County, where at times fire hydrants are far apart. The fire at Colony Cove was an example of how they fight fires where a hydrant may not be available or easily accessible.
We generally have enough water on a truck to be able to do what we need to do, or we have tankers that will bring water to that facility to make sure that we have enough water to fight the fire.
North River Fire District officials say when a call comes in, they know if there are hydrants available at that location and if they will need to use water from additional engines and tankers to fight the fire. Investigators are still trying to figure out the cause of that mobile home fire that happened in Ellington on Thursday.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, President Donald Trump cracking down on illegal immigrants in the U.S. Some city leaders are complying with his orders, but others think it may hurt the country.
And thousands marching once again in Washington while these men and women are fighting for life.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Go ahead. Make a fashion statement. Demand something more than just ordinary. Capture elegance in every turn and drive with flair. Where beautiful styling is standard. Stop in and take a test drive. I'll guarantee you'll never go back to plain vanilla again. The all-new 2017 Fiat 500 starting at $14,999. Only at Sunset Fiat in Sarasota.
You don't want to miss the annual Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 4th and 5th at the Venice Community Center. Just a week before Valentine's Day, it is the largest orchid show on Florida's West Coast with thousands of blooming orchids on display and for sale. You'll also find orchid growing supplies, artwork, jewelry, accessories, and free classes. Make plans now to attend the Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 4th and 5th at the Venice Community Center. Doors open at 10 a.m. both days. Visit vaos.org online for more details.
Whether a family member needs a little extra help around the house, assistance recovering from a hospital stay, or someone to check in on them throughout the week, Right at Home's in-home care is the answer. Your loved one deserves the right care, and now we need caregivers to help give the right care for the right reasons, the right way. At Right at Home, we're one of the only private home health agencies in this area with the opportunity to earn paid time off. If you're someone who loves helping people, take a look at our website and click on Jobs to join our team today. Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Join us for Sarasota Opera's 2017 Winter Festival, opening February 11th. Featuring Puccini's most famous opera, Madame Butterfly, Rossini's delightful comedy, The Italian Girl in Algiers, Poulenc's heartbreaking Dialogues of the Carmelites, and the medieval thriller The Love of Three Kings by Italo Montemezzi. Tickets are on sale now. Call 941-328-1300 or visit sarasotaopera.org.
Miami-Dade's mayor is speaking out about his efforts to comply with President Donald Trump's steps to crack down on undocumented immigrants. Mayor Carlos Jimenez is ordering county jails to follow President Trump's request. The move effectively ends the county's status as an immigrant sanctuary. President Trump's executive order threatens to cut federal funding to counties and cities that don't work with federal immigration authorities. The mayor says the county will fully cooperate with the federal government.
We will comply with the federal government's request to keep a prisoner in our custody that may be an illegal immigrant for the federal government until they can pick them up.
Officials in other cities, though, are pushing back on Trump's executive order. The mayor of Seattle calls the order a, quote, pathway for a constitutional crisis.
Marchers from around the country are again gathered in the nation's capital today. The March for Life is held each year around the anniversary of the 1973 Supreme Court decision legalizing abortion. Neither a president nor a vice president has ever addressed the march in person while sitting in office, which is now in its 44th year. But this year, President Trump's top aide Kellyanne Conway and Vice President Mike Pence went to the rally and spoke. Pence has long been a hero among anti-abortion activists, and as governor of Indiana signed some of the strictest laws on abortion.
Because of all of you and the many thousands who stand with us in marches like this all across the nation, life is winning again in America.
Once the unborn child feels pain in the womb, it's time that as a society, we come in and say that child should be protected. See, I think my bill is going to pass, and I think that medical science and technology is increasing the awareness of all these issues, and it's great to see all these people marching today.
After listening to speeches, marchers walked through the streets of Washington to the Supreme Court.
Some chilly weather and some rain over the weekend. All the details next.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Start the year off right with a great deal during the Start Something New event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come drive the most awarded SUV of all time, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, or shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers. Stop by today and drive away in a new Jeep Compass for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Come out to the best party of the season, the Goodwill Mardi Gras Gala on February 28th at Michael's on E. Tickets at experiencegoodwill.org.
am an originalist.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
In town? On the town, The Mark offers landmark living in the center of everything you love about Sarasota. Priced from the 700s, spacious residences and elevated club-level amenities create a private oasis in the sky. Promenade shopping and dining put the best of downtown downstairs. Sales gallery open daily at the corner of Pineapple and State Street just south of Main. The Mark, Sarasota. Presented by Coulter.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Josh Stone in for Bob tonight, but Bob wasn't just taking it easy on his day
off. Of course not. He never does. He just never stops, right, Bob? He was reading a book, the one that we read this week as well, at Kingdom Academy Pre-K in Sarasota for Celebrate Literacy Week. And Scott was just there yesterday. I was at the Pines of Sarasota Preschool. All these kids, so adorable, so much fun to read to them.
They love this book.
They love the book.
Yeah.
It's a very fun book.
It is.
And it kind of teaches the kids why you should just be yourself.
Exactly. Be happy with who you are.
Yes.
Yeah. It's okay to be a frog, right?
It is okay to be a frog. Sometimes frogs turn into a prince, you know.
And frogs might be happy this weekend.
Oh, they might with the rain.
Especially by Saturday night and
Yeah.
the Sunday. Yeah, exactly. We're going to have some rain come in, but not for tonight. It's going to be on the chilly side. Actually, all weekend is going to be chilly, but right now it's just kind of raw out there. We have a stiff wind out of the north and northwest, anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour. Down in Boca Grande, our sustained wind is 17 miles per hour. All out of the northwest, helping to transport that cooler air in from the north. Now, our current temperature right now in Sarasota is 59 degrees, 63 in Venice, 64 in Arcadia. A little warmer for you in Punta Gorda, 66 degrees, but temperatures will be on the decline as we go through the next several hours. How about the almanac today? We topped out at 68 degrees. That's below our average high of 71, but nowhere near the record high set back in 1984 of 84 degrees. Rainfall, nothing to show you here. We're about just over 3/4 of an inch down from where we should be for this time of the year. But relief is on its way with an area of low pressure that really hasn't developed yet, but it will be coming our way by late Saturday night into Sunday. Radar remains quiet. We did have some very isolated showers that tracked in from the Gulf of Mexico to the south of Venice and into Charlotte County, but those basically falling apart now and really nothing happening at all. So basically the radar's quiet now and things start to pick up. See this area of green here and central Texas? Well, that's the beginnings of a system that's going to be eventually moving its way eastward and affecting us late tomorrow night. Some snow showers up here in the northeast, but the rest of the United States pretty quiet at this time. Okay, so for tonight, mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow we'll have peaks of sunshine to begin with, and then increasing clouds throughout the day and the afternoon. And then look what happens here. Area of low pressure, wave of energy stirs up, tracks eastbound, and brings us some widespread rainfall throughout the Sun Coast for our Saturday night into our Sunday morning and the wrapping up by the end of the day Sunday, but maybe 1/4 to a 1/2 inch to possibly 3/4 of an inch of rainfall by the end of this event. For the boaters, expect a northerly wind tomorrow at 15 knots. Seas just offshore, 2 to 4 feet with a moderate chop in the bays. As far as your low tonight, 49 degrees. That's a little bit chilly. Some areas a little bit cooler than this inland. But again, the winds are going to be a story out of the north, about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow, only 63 for our high. And remember, our average for this time of the year for a high is 71, so well below the average. And then increasing clouds throughout the day. Remember, the rain comes in on Saturday night, lingers throughout the day on Sunday. It's going to be quite chilly for a few days here, and then finally we rebound back in the low to mid 70s by next week. Guys?
All right, Josh, thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Tonight, the battle over the border wall, the way forward on immigration, the fate of Obamacare, the controversies kicked up over President Trump's executive orders. Can he deliver on his promises? This is where America turns. World News Tonight with David Muir.
If you're trying to balance caring for your mother and being a mother to your children, we can help. It's what we do. Call Granny Nannies today.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
Florida Studio Theater presents the regional premiere of Clever Little Lies, now playing in the Keating Theater. Secrets are exposed and clever little lies are crafted in this fast-paced comedy by Joe DiPietro. Shattering and hilarious, Clever Little Lies is a story of long-term love and marriage, for better and for worse. Don't miss what critics are calling lively with big reveals and surefire comedy. Clever Little Lies is now playing. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting floridastudiotheater.org.
How hard is it to stop a stroke? It is challenging, it is difficult, and every second counts. A comprehensive stroke center gives the patient a better chance to walk out with minimal to no disability. We are able to offer treatments above and beyond the standard 3 hours after the onset of a stroke. A place like Sarasota Memorial Hospital really increases those chances of giving back a better quality of life.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
My dad is my hero, and I wanted to give him a chance to live life and be happy. Granny Nannies has been a huge help. It has contributed to the health and happiness of my dad, for sure.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
Sarasota County is feeling the blues this weekend. It's the 3rd annual Suncoast Blues Festival. The festival kicked off about 30 minutes ago at the Sarasota Fairgrounds on Fruitville Road. Tonight's performances run until 10 p.m. and the music will continue all day tomorrow. So bundle up if you're heading out there.
Empty stage right now, won't be that way.
Yeah.
Once everyone's out there.
That's right. That's right. And cool weather,
Exactly. It's going to be cool, but that's okay for some people wearing their jackets and sweaters, but also the rain moves in late Saturday night.
And then warm up. And then we warm up a little bit.
We do warm up into
Back
the
warm.
mid-70s, yes. By,
Although I
next week.
love this low humidity. When I walked outside, you can feel it immediately. You can feel the change.
It's good for your hair, right?
Hey, Jinx.
I hear that from my wife.
It is. It definitely is.
Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good weekend ahead. World News Tonight with David Muir is next.
We'll see you tonight at 11.
This is an ABC 7 editorial with Steve Sabato.
Venice High School was recently in the news for banning a substitute teacher who made a controversial reading assignment to a senior class of advanced English students. The decision raises fundamental questions about ethics, education, and school policies. After only 2 days on the job, The substitute teacher decided to disregard the lesson plan she had been given, presumably hoping the assignment would stimulate debate and energize the class. She probably could have got away with ignoring the lesson plan, but the short story she assigned, Alma, by Pulitzer Prize-winning author Junot Diaz, included graphic sexual references and profanities. It didn't take long for an angry parent to contact the school. Subsequently, the teacher was canned and, as per Sarasota County's one-strike policy, banned from substituting at any other school in the district. So what's the bottom line? The archives of great literature are full of stories that challenge our values. We want that in the classrooms. The issue here is not the short story. The issue is this teacher used poor judgment and exceeded her authority. That said, if the regular teacher who was absent that day had made the same assignment, it should not have been challenged. Unless content is deemed to be pornographic, administrators have no business second-guessing teachers about art or education. Censoring classroom lessons is a far greater threat to society than an occasional boneheaded decision by a well-meaning educator. Ironically, the critically acclaimed short story Alma is about controversy. Hopefully, the controversy surrounding this unfortunate incident will provide a lesson for both school administrators and the teacher alike. I'm Steve Sabato, and we'd like to hear from you.
The opinions expressed in this editorial do not necessarily reflect those of ABC7's owners or management. If you would like to comment, go to our website, www.mysuncoast.com, and click Community.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Gold fever is at an all-time high in the Sunshine State with the new Gold Rush Doubler family of scratch-off games. Everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. With over $1 billion in total cash prizes, the Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
So get the new year off to a great start with safety and peace of mind. Subaru offers more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And Subaru had the best resale value of all brands for 2016. Now you can lease a new Subaru Forester for just $209 a month or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
We are going to build a great society where no man or woman or the victim of fear or poverty or hatred, where every man and woman has a chance for fulfillment and prosperity and hope.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.